Hey there guys, in this video we're going to be going back to Lindblum Festival of the Hunt for an auto battle, mostly budget run. So for this one we're going to be doing all missions, that means Final Fantasy IX units only, and we're going to be taking a Kuja friend. That's because we need someone to AoE break, and the only person in Final Fantasy IX that can AoE break on demand to be used with auto battle is Kuja, unfortunately, and I don't have my own Kuja. I gotta use a friend. So this is the party we're gonna go with. All 5-star or below units. That's why I'm calling it a sort of budget run, because the units are very, very cheap. You can unit of choice all of these. The gear is not extremely budget, but the gear is just going to make the clear quicker. But because we're doing auto battle, you know, a slow clear is fine. So here's the team we're going to go with. Let's get in here and start doing the clear. I'll explain what's going on. I'll show you the gear towards the end of the video, etc. So for our auto battle clear, every single turn, Beatrix in the shift form is just going to be our healer. So she is just going to dual cast Kurega. So where's Kurega? I want to do Kurega. So we're going to dual cast Kurega every single turn. Garland, unfortunately, only has single target break on demand. So we're going to use Garland for Fire and Peril with Fire Break and then full breakdown. Steiner is just going to physical cover every single turn with evasion. Our Amarants are going to normal attack, and the Kuja is going to use True Seraphic Star. This is an AoE break, and this is why we have to use a Kuja for this, because he AoE breaks on demand every single turn. So we can go ahead and just chain this up. Now, our Amarants are using auto buff gear in the shift form. So in their shift form, they are just getting auto buffing, but they're not wearing DPS. So until they go back to the base form in a couple of turns, it's a trance shift, we're not really going to deal any damage. But once we get back to the base form, we'll be doing, you know, a lot more damage and start actually killing these enemies. So as far as what you need to survive this fight, you want some fire and lightning resist up to 100%. You're going to need blind immunity on your DPS. You're going to need evasion and some decent bulk on your Steiner. We're passive provoking with Beatrix. As you see here, by the way, now we're in the base form, and now we're actually dealing damage with our Amarants on the enemies. Overall, not very high damage. It is an auto battle clear. It is very slow, but you know, it's auto battle. You can set it and forget it. Walk away. Okay, and the other main important thing here is, well, also you need enough mana regen to self-sustain so that your mana never runs out. But you're going to need to have enough spirit and HP on your units to survive. Now, you might be noticing the friend Kuja we took is kind of overboard on bulk. I asked a friend to build me a bulky Kuja. I didn't mean this bulky. This is way more than you need. But, I mean, hey, it's fine. It works out great. Okay, so this fight is no problem. But fight number 2 and fight number 3, you're going to need some bulk on your units. I'm going to go ahead and cut the video until we finish this fight, and I'm going to pick it up again on the second fight, which is more important. Again, we just leave this on auto battle, let it go. Eventually the Moo will die, then the Trick Sparrow will die. The Trick Sparrow is going to be a lot slower to die because we're not using Bird Killer. We just couldn't fit it. So it'll take about 30 turns to finish this first battle. So see you when this first battle is about to be done, and we'll do the second fight. Alright guys, we're about to finish the first fight, and there it is, we're done. 29 turns, relatively slow. Let's go ahead and turn off auto battle for the moment. But now we're on the second fight. So here is the only thing where we're going to need to do some manual input. All you have to do is when you go into the next fight, you're just going to brave shift your Amarants. That's it. You just do that and turn auto battle back on. The reason we're doing this is we need our Amarants to be using using their auto buff gear. They're going to get auto buffing from the shift form, and then the base form can go all in for DPS. So we're going to go ahead and kill the Fang enemies now. The Fang enemies are the dangerous ones in this encounter, and they're the ones that use the fixed damage, which bypasses cover, and they're why you need some bulk. So every third turn, the Fang enemies will do a fixed attack that ignores cover and deals relatively high damage based on your spirit. So we need to AoE break them, which is why we're using Kuja, and we need to have some bulk on our party. So we're using things like Auto Shell, Auto Protect, Saintly Castle, etc. in Amarant's shift form. The rest of the party is just geared for bulk regardless. So here's the turn 3 attack. As long as you survive this, you should be good. And there it is. We did survive, so we're fine. Now Beatrix will heal the party back up, and there we go. We are nice and full healed again. So again, now we're back in the base form with Amarant. They're going to start dealing damage here. So this is where you need the Kuja. Now, if you absolutely cannot find a Kuja friend and you don't own your own Kuja, you can do the same fight with Garland. It just means you wouldn't be able to auto battle. You would have to manually use Garland to change targets and break the enemies one at a time. Because Garland's break, other than his cooldowns, is a single target only. But there you go. So that's really it for this fight. The last fight is the most important one. So again, we're going to be killing these. Once you kill one of the Fangs, it'll be a lot easier, because at that point, it's half damage every third turn, because only one of them are surviving. But even so, as you see, we do survive the double Fang attack on turn 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, etc. So we're fine here. You just need a reasonable amount of bulk. And just to show you right here, our Amarant with auto buffing has 1200 spirit, 46,000 HP. Other one 19 and 41. So yeah, so there we go. And we just leave this going. So the only thing is, when you go into the next fight, you need to brave shift your Amarants just to get that auto buffing. Technically speaking, you could gear the base form and the auto buff gear, but that would make your damage so abysmally bad you'd be here for 1,000 turns. I don't recommend that. So just keep an eye on the screen from the corner of your eye or whatever, and every now and then when you're about to finish a wave, just get ready to turn off auto battle and shift your Amarants. But that's all you got to do. Once you brave shift them, you are done for the fight. So there we go. We have killed one of the Fangs. So second Fang will die in 10 more turns. The bird takes about 20 turns because we don't have any bird killer. But here's turn 12. You'll see that now that one of the Fangs is dead, the damage we take is basically nothing. So now that one of the Fangs is dead, only one of them is doing the AoE. There it is, minor damage. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let this auto battle, and we'll come back for the final fight, which is going to be the, the most tricky one, but not really. So we'll see you in, 30 turns. See you then. Alright guys, here we go into the final fight. Once again, we're going to just turn off auto repeat until we brave shift our Amarants, and then we turn it back on. That's the only interaction you've got to do for this clear, is to just turn off that auto repeat at the beginning of every wave. So this one is going to thankfully be quicker to kill because it is a beast and we are using beast killer. So let's go ahead and shift them, and that's it. Turn back on auto repeat and we are done. So for this one, this boss is on a 4-turn rotation. He does physical damage, which Steiner is evade covering. He does magical lightning damage, which we are resisting. He also does gravity damage on turn 3, which is going to bring us to 1 HP. And then on turn 4, he does a very powerful fixed attack. So this is the reason you might have been wondering why is Beatrix not casting Shell? She's casting double cast heal instead. This is why. So right here, we're going down to 1 HP with the gravity attack. It won't kill you. This is why we need Beatrix to double cast a heal so that we're healthy enough for the next turn attack. This is the turn 4 attack that hits very, very hard. So you need to survive that. As you see, one of our Amarants took more than 24,000 damage, and if Beatrix was only single casting Kurega, he would have died. But there it is. That is the clear. So the boss is now on a repeating schedule. On turn, every 4 turns he repeats his rotation. So turn 7 he's going to put us to 1 HP. Turn 8 the big huge attack. Just repeat infinity. As long as you survive the first 4 turns, you have beaten the fight. So here we go again here. He's gathering power. Next turn we go to 1 HP. And I'm going to go ahead and after the second rotation, I'll just cut the video and then I will bring it back when the boss is about to die. We'll check out some damage reports. We will look at gear, etc. There we go. 1 HP. Beatrix double cast her heal. Brings us up to, enough to survive. It's kind of funny that friend Kuja, Reed, and when I said gear for bulk, I didn't mean that much bulk. Beatrix can't even heal him up. But it's fine. It's fine. So yeah. There's the rotation. So it's gonna be. It looks like it's gonna be about 30 turns to kill this guy. Not a problem. There's no turn count here. So see you in a few minutes when we finish killing this guy. See you in a sec. All right, guys, we're about finished this fight. One more turn looks like, and yeah, there is the lazy mode way to clear the fight, and we win. So, real quick, the gear and the item, or the missions. No items, no continues, Final Fantasy IX only, we did it. So, Beatrix is the shift form, we're not using the base form. In the shift form is passive provoking, Pure Lotus, dual cast, some modifier gear with like Tranquil Healing if you own it, Tome of Lakshmi, Auto Shell from the Lo-Fi, break immunity with Vermilion Flag, status immunity because the provoker does get paralyzed, make sure you're immune to that. And then a spirit card. So just, bulk, and all she does every single turn is double cast Kurega. That's it. Every single turn. Garland is just, oh, and also the whole party needs enough mana regen to self-sustain. With a Pure Lotus, you should be fine. Garland is again, oh, by the way, we also need some fire and lightning resist. Keep that in mind. Fire and lightning resist, fire and lightning resist. You don't need full immunity, but enough. Garland, auto buffing, Saintly Castle helps if you have it. He's just here honestly for oh, I didn't even give him a card. Whoops, whoops. He's just here for breaking and fire and peril. That's kind of it. If you have Kuja, Garland is completely replaceable. Skip Garland entirely, bring Kuja. Kuja can do breaking and fire and peril every single turn. Don't need Garland. Loyal Knight's Diner, that's the 5-star version. A little bit of fire and lightning resist, status immunity, auto buffing with Saintly Castle, full evasion, Miracle Shoes for the auto shell, auto protect, Pure Lotus for the healing and mana regen, full evasion. Otherwise, you don't need a vision card. Winged Heart gives him the fire and thunder resist we need. And here's our Amarants. In the shift form, we are going pure auto buffing. So we have a lot of fire and lightning resist. Not enough, obviously. Whoops, I made a mistake. Whatever. So Saintly Castle, Miracle Shoes, Brumal Core's optional, but that gives you 10% fire amplify. So you deal a little more damage. But, it's like, why not? Equip gear, Light's Blessing. This is our auto bravery, so we have permanent 200% attack buff. Other than that, whatever. In the base form, we are using Frievia's expertise to dual wield swords. We're using a fire sword. This also gives you dual wield if you're using 2 swords, which you should be. So fire weapon, cannon's blade, very good. And then we're using the Falcon Blade if you have this. If not, give him like the Yeti TMR, Yeti style. This gives him quad attack. So attacks 1 extra time. It's also a sword. There we go. Fire resist, blind immunity, very, very important. You need to be blind. The bosses or the birds use AoE blind every turn just about. This gives us blind immunity from this little crisis hat. Dual wield, he's not naturally a dual wielder, so keep that in mind. And this is my secondary Amarant. And then my main Amarant, same thing pretty much. Auto buffing in the shift form. There we go, some resistance. The dual wield card, if you have that, obviously it can be way better. Again, Just a fire weapon, you know, we're using this. Because we're using the dual wield card, we don't need Cannon's Blade. This one is slightly better. Dual wield gear, a little bit of bulk so we survive. So, you know, we gave him the Paladin's Will, helmet, etc. There it is, you know. Bulk, resistances, fire and lightning resist. Don't need full lightning immunity, but it does help. And some fire resist. And there you go. And then here's the Kuja friend. All you need from the Kuja friend is some spirit and HP. Reed went very overboard, which is wonderful, but you don't need this much. And make sure the Kuja friend, or your own Kuja, has enough mana regen to self-sustain. And yeah, there is the all mission clear on Final Fantasy IX Weapon Quest. You can also use the same strategy on the Garnet Crowns. Obviously, we'd have to change the gear around. You'd have to change stuff around. The Garnet Crowns do things like Dispel and all that. So you would definitely need to adjust stuff for the Garnet Crowns. But on the same concept, will work just fine. And then here we go. You know, like I said, one of mine is geared better. Also EX3 versus EX2. And yeah, there it is. Slow, but very easy. Completely auto battle, except you do have to Brave Shift Amaran at the start of every wave. Other than that, turn on auto battle, walk away. But not too far, because you got to monitor when the wave's going to end. Anyway, hope it helps. See you in a bit.